Hey everyone, welcome to Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
Now I'm Robbie.
And I'm Tip, joining in.
So today we're going to talk about the What If premiere that premiered on Disney Plus. This was the What If Captain Carter was Captain America instead of Captain America, and I think it was a I think it basically lived up to the premise of What If, because we did see
by
that
definition, yeah.
We did see that alteration in the story, and it wasn't exactly like First Avenger.
I'm so glad it wasn't like beat for beat the same as like the first Captain America movie. I'm glad that they switched it up a little bit, because that would have been, I think, boring.
Yeah, so the episode was okay. I wasn't enthralled. It wasn't terrible. I mean, it was definitely
I was impressed because, once again, I was coming in with such low expectations. I thought that the art style was nice. That's usually like my biggest concern when something goes to animation, because if you get like the wrong art style, then it just takes away like the whole movie.
Well, we know that Chris Evans has a very high price tag because they couldn't even get him to come back to voice skinny Steve Rogers.
Right.
But I think they got
Tommy Lee
everyone
Jones.
else. Well, he wasn't even in the episode. They had to cast like a new character.
Yeah, they just killed his character off real fast.
Yeah, he's not doing much these days. They probably could have gotten him, but they pretty much had everyone else from the original cast, like the guy who played Howard Stark, Dum Dum Dugan. I think the guy who played the scientist came back. The guy who played Arnim Zola came back. The guy who played Howard Stark actually plays Jesse Custer on Preacher.
Oh, really?
He's actually British, so he does a really good American accent, very convincing. So basically she gets into the thing, and she becomes Captain America or Captain Britain or whatever.
But why does she get into the thing? What's the thing that happens differently?
Doesn't the guy attack quick, or I don't know?
The attack still happens, but this time Steve Rogers gets shot, so he's not physically able to get in the tank.
It was a little too convenient. It's like, we have to do it now. We can't shut it off. So they she becomes Captain Carter.
Have you ever created a super soldier force? Very sensitive process.
There's only one. Yeah, like they could have made like the serum. Like, this is the only serum we have, or this is the last of our supply. They didn't have to make it about the power.
I think
more power.
I think off buttons weren't invented until 1946, so I think that was the reason. They decided it might be a good idea to have an off switch, but that wasn't until after World War II.
It was because of this. Fun fact: it was actually because of this exact experiment gone wrong. They did the off button.
Yeah, I think America just had such a go-go attitude. There's like, everything must be turned on. Nothing could be turned off. So
Go Power Rangers. We'll talk about you in the Rick and Morty section.
Yeah, I was like, that would have been a great
segue,
but not there yet.
Well, it's more like Voltron than Power Rangers, but okay. So she becomes Captain Carter, and it really just shows you how interested I was in the show, because I just okay, so she becomes Captain Carter. There's like another montage, and then like Red Skull unleashes Cthulhu at the end, and then he gets killed.
Oh, you missed the part about Bucky saying, "You almost took my arm off."
Oh yeah,
and
he turns the camera and winks.
Armor. Right.
There's like 30 minutes of applause, and then
then the train keeps going.
Yeah. So Bucky didn't get his arm ripped off. I guess he didn't. Did he die in this? I can't remember.
Nope, no, he didn't die. And
so
Steve Rogers stayed super small and skinny, and so Howard Stark built him a suit of armor.
Yeah, he becomes Ironmonger before, or Iron Man or whatever. So, so that was cool.
So that changes everything. Now Iron Man has, if Tony Stark builds an Iron Man suit in the cave, it's not revolutionary. He's just doing the same thing his dad did.
He's still just building weapons and missiles.
And Captain Carter's in the 21st century now. They got Samuel L. Jackson back, so he doesn't want anyone else playing Nick Fury but him. So.
I feel like he'd still run into like their whole deal selling Stark's weapons overseas without him knowing. I feel like he'd still run into that, or
maybe he just
turn it down.
To not know.
Yeah. But what about the whole Endgame snap and all that? I wonder what would have happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe the question you're asking for is, what if?
So
yeah.
So yeah, I think the only thing that bothered me was the thing that bothered me in the movie, just like what you look like. Red Skull was like looking for the Tesseract, and he's like, the guy's like, what you seek is a legend, and he's like, why do you make such an effort to conceal it? And he just presses a button, and it just shows up, just pops out. It's like probably the least like protected,
So what hero change do you think is coming next? The next what if?
Well, I think next episode's going to be T'Challa's going to be Star-Lord.
And it looks dope. I actually did watch the previews for that. Like,
oh
yeah.
And they actually got.
I haven't seen the previews.
And they got Chadwick Boseman to voice him, so it'll be the very last time he.
Rob,
plays
I would
the
say
character.
don't watch the previews. Go in with no spoilers if you can.
Yeah, I think they'll probably get Michael Rooker back as Yondu.
Then you won't know where it's going to lead.
Exactly. It looks much better, or it looks much more enjoyable, more faster paced than the first episode.
And that's what's cool about this show. You don't need to watch them in any order or watch them back to back. You can just watch anyone.
I mean, I would be surprised if Marvel doesn't at least tie a couple of things together somehow. I mean, it's Marvel. It's continuity based.
Like they reach through this portal and run into this episode.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like that it's an anthology series like The Twilight Zone. I think that's cool.
I love that. I'm just saying, watch out for that twist where
it's all connected.
Well, it's like maybe like a Black Mirror where some of them are connected, some of them aren't connected, some of them it's obviously connected, some of them you have to like do a lot of Easter egg sleuthing.
Oh. I didn't realize Black Mirror. I've only seen a handful of episodes, but
what? You are missing out, bro. There's only like 20 of them total or something like that. It's
I only
a BBC
watched like
show.
Yeah, I only watched like the first 2 seasons. I was like, it's okay. I get it. It's fine.
I see what you're doing there. Technology, the future, scary. I got it.
Wait,
yeah, I did like. Go ahead.
There's one question I'd be curious if what if addressed. There has been very few Hebrew superheroes. What if there were a superhero of the Jewish persuasion?
Well, that's the thing is Jewish, and so is Moon Knight, who's about to get his own show.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Harley Quinn's also Jewish.
Really?
No. Yeah. And Batwoman.
And the Flash apparently, because in the Justice League he says like, "I'm just a Jewish boy," or something like that. I think.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, if your first name's Ezra, then I think it's pretty much a given you're Jewish. But
wait, and Magneto. Oh.
Yeah, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Black Panther? No, maybe. I mean, anyone can be Jewish, right?
Yeah, I mean, you might convert just for the jokes.
Yeah, that's what T'Challa did.
No, I'm just keeping up with our one Seinfeld reference a week, much like how Jerry Seinfeld put Superman reference in every episode, just returning the favor.
Yeah. So basically, that's really. So I think the big reveal at the end was the tentacled monster might have been Shuma Gorath, who I think is going to be in Doctor Strange 2.
The only part that like made me roll my eyes or lower the. I like the battle, but specifically the ending. Like, I just spent 4 minutes watching like this monster come out with its 1,000 tentacles, and now you're telling me you're able to wrap
just shove it in there,
and push it back with that little tiny shield the size of an extra large pizza.
Hey, girl power. You misogynist.
Yeah, it would be more like you're just shoving through one tentacle and the rest are like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, like all it does is take an extra 20 seconds to show her like grabbing a tentacle, jumping around, tying it to another tentacle, and then tying it up to another tentacle, and then pushing her back in. But the fact like that didn't happen, it's just like, oh, there's 100 tentacles and they all happen to converge at one point. Where
inside that little hole.
Exactly. I think there were other ways. They could have just like, I don't know, cut off the portal, and then all the tentacles just like flop down the ground.
I have to go through it.
Yeah.
And then that was her way of going into the future instead of being frozen.
And then calamari's introduced in Europe like 50 years earlier.
Well, yeah, you could have just had her wrapped up, as she was fighting, wrapped up a tentacle, like got captured and wrapped up by a tentacle, and then pulled through the portal.
So are all these just like mini episodes that don't continue?
Yeah,
just
we're not
kind
going to
of
see what happens.
Glimpses of different universes every episode.
Yeah, that's basically the multiverse that
That's
was
what we were
introduced
talking
in
about
Loki.
before.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's
you
cool.
know.
I think some of them might be connected, but we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, what if Loki was bi but actually was in a relationship with a man? Stuff like that, you know. Or what if Loki fucked a horse or something like that? You know, just so many possibilities. It's I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I thought the opening episode was okay. It's basically what I expected. Nothing really surprising except Shimugarath.
But I think it's gonna get good.
Yeah, we'll see. I think like first episodes are always hard to
They're
to
hard.
pull off.
The first and the last.
I thought it was a good episode. I watched it with my children, and
Lots of girl power. Yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
it was great. They got to watch this like beastly woman beat up a bunch of Nazis, and that was fun. The only part I was concerned with for them was the giant tentacle monster and red face, but
Red face.
Well, that's what happens when you don't wear sunscreen, kids.
yeah.
I thought you meant like red face, like black face. So he was like dressing up as Native American, or
No, Red Skull.
Oh,
Is it Red Skull or whatever his name is. I don't know.
Yeah,
Red,
Yeah,
I guess.
Kids, don't wear all red. That's appropriation on supervillains.
Mm-hmm. So,
Super Dad. Da, 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 da,
Um, yeah, I don't really have anything else for this. So, it really shows you just how enthusiastic I was over the whole thing. But
Well, I really like the team.
we also don't have Matt here.
that's
Right.
true. I'm sure he would have like slaughtered this show.
Matt always has stuff to say.
Yeah.
I hope so. It's a podcast.
A few choice words. Okay, but I guess we go to Rick and Morty now. All right, so the last episode was the bird person was resurrected, sort of like an Inception sort of episode, and we sort of go through
Some
his
actual
memories,
this
his
time.
memories and Rick's that they share, and we saw 35-year-old Rick.
We saw a bunch of different Ricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Rob, I think Rob was like super impressed by this episode.
Yeah, because it kind of reveals a bunch of stuff about his past and like little theories about it.
Well, it
especially
definitely
about his his old
Wife.
his wife who died.
Right.
we still
Yeah, and
we
he
still
says-
don't know. We just I think
if
he's
he's-
mentioned.
If he's the original Rick from the universe we've been watching, because it's sounding like that's like his Beth is gone and dead, and not this one. This is like from another universe,
Yeah.
another dimension.
Yeah, this was
He's
definitely
just
like
kind of portaled over to one and just kind of
He's like,
taken that
you're one of
Rick's
those
place.
Ricks that live with our dead daughter. You weirdo. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely like a lore dump in this episode. A lot of
Huge lore
callbacks.
dump.
Like a lot of callbacks to early characters in episode. Like I think Gear Dude and
he'll keep
Squan-
looking in all those doors
and
that
Squanchy.
pop in those episodes.
Yeah, and Squanchy was
That was our Vietnam.
yeah. Yeah, that happened, and I guess Morty wasn't in this episode really, or the whole family. So that was interesting.
Right.
I thought that there's usually like a B story, and
So
they
they haven't,
just
I don't think they've done B plots this entire season.
Yeah, he kind of
Well-
got his own episode.
well, they
As
did
soon
the
as you
one
guys
where like
leave.
where Rick and Summer go to the like the Apocalypse Festival,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
like
true.
then like
Yeah,
Morty
that
was
an A and a
dating
B.
Planetina.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's been a couple episodes.
yeah, I think the last episode, the Voltron, was definitely had no B plot.
I can kind of see where it's coming from, where he's going through all the trouble to get his original best friend back. Like, he doesn't want to break the rules, basically, of just going to another dimension, find himself a new friend.
Right.
Which he was saying to that AI. He was like, yeah, go to another dimension, find another friend that works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, we're gonna go in and get him.
What about that AI though? So sassy. I love her. I was
that was funny. She kept talking to the neighbor.
So paranoid too. No, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Okay, so that
they were saying that the AI's voice is the same character who did his wife in that memory callback.
I would say that's official. I would call that official.
So they're wondering if he hasn't said it, but that's the voice of his dead wife.
Right. Although that'd be really haunting. I don't know if I'd want to keep that around. Plus,
I think they might want to get a more established actress to play his wife. I feel because they got Elliot from Scrubs playing the daughter, and they got like the guy from Archer playing the dad, and they usually got to get some big guest stars. So
imagine being in Rick's position of. It's kind of driving him crazy that he just has the power of going to all these different times and dimensions, and your wife is dead and you have the power to see her all the time in different time periods and dimensions, but none of them are your original wife.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like
that back.
It's kind of like social media. When you have a breakup, it's just best not to stalk them or even look at their profile. You can see them anytime you want, but the relationship's just sort of over, and you just need to not call back to it. So move on. Yeah. So so this episode was good. Definitely a lot of callbacks. Do you think the next episode will be like Morty, with Morty and the family were doing while Rick was with Bird Person?
That doesn't sound like them.
Yeah, they gotta have Rick in every episode.
Have you seen the trailer with it?
No.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Yeah. I like going in completely fresh. That's unlike What If. This is one show I do because anything can happen. So I do like going in completely cold, not knowing.
Is next episode the season finale?
I thought there was a few. I thought there was only episode 8, so that was just 2 more.
It's but they're making it an hour episode. Okay. But they're not. Yeah. It's not coming out until
September, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, beginning of September.
Yeah, episode 9.
September 5th, that's when it was.
September's gonna have a lot of good stuff, the first week. Because I think Shang-Chi's coming out that week. What We Do in the Shadows season 3 is gonna come out, and I think the 3rd season of American Crime Story about Bill Clinton and the Lewinsky scandal.
Have you seen the trailers for the new American Horror Story?
No.
Mm-mm.
It's like alien vampires. It looks super weird. I mean, it's been several seasons since I've watched American Horror Story, but
I haven't watched it.
But
how do you
watched the first couple?
How do you feel about season 3 of American Crime Story being in the Bill Clinton scandal? Because was it really a crime? Because I understand.
I guess that's what we'll have to watch and find out. But that's
because I guess you could say in this day and age, you could say maybe he groomed her or whatever. But from what I understood, it was consensual. Even though it was.
Yeah, no, the crime was him lying to Congress, I believe.
Oh, just perjury. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think it seems I don't know, but they'll probably put some emphasis on like he was abusing his power. I think in this day and age, but we don't know. But I guess that's right. He did perjure himself technically. So, but I'm interested to see. I think Clive Owen. They didn't really show much of Clive Owen in the trailer. I think he just said I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I was just gonna ask everyone to pull out their best Bill Clinton impression.
But I think it mainly just focused on the women, Monica Lewinsky, and I think whoever who's the Sarah Paulson, that actress. I don't know who she's playing, but she was the person who was in the White House staff, who Monica Lewinsky I think confided in about the affair. So that should be interesting. I like because the first season of that show was O.J. Simpson. I thought that was really well done. So
that won a bunch of awards, didn't it?
Yeah, that was before Cuba Gooding Jr.'s I think career went to shit, because I think he got exposed for beating up some women, or just maybe harassing some women. or he like choke slammed or something. So he did something sketchy, but I think his career is basically
allegedly.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd have to look it up. But I think he's like in trouble now, or he's sort of like he got Me Too'd, I think. But I think it was more like justified because I think he actually did some shady stuff. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And What We Do in the Shadows season 3. That's a really good show. I'm probably one of the few people who's only seen the show and not seen the movie. So yeah, the show's really good. People like the movie too, but it's kind of like, I'm already used to the show characters that I don't really care about the movie characters. I think that's probably people who watch the movie, like they don't want to watch the show because the movie characters aren't in it. Well, they're in like one episode, but like the main cast is like weren't in the movie. So but yeah, we can go back to Rick and Morty. But yeah, FX is doing some interesting stuff next month. So the Voltron episode.
So they finally get Morty's been talking about Boob World for seasons.
Boob World.
And he's finally gonna get to Boob World. Yeah, but then what does Rick see out in the moon?
He
sees the ferrets.
Glimmer. And there's the 5th Gotron. Why ferrets?
The ferret Gotrons.
I don't know. I guess they thought they want like a really, really unthreatening animal, or something that's not as threatening as a lion. So they just went with a ferret. I'm sure they threw a lot of. I'm sure
I'm not sure why
ideas.
they picked ferret.
they threw a lot of ideas in the writing.
There might be a story behind that.
Yeah, they probably had we got to pick an animal. What's like the most ridiculous animal? And they said I'm sure like frog was one of them. Tadpole maybe. I would like to know what the other options are.
I'm sure they had a ton of fun in the writing room for this episode.
Oh yeah,
especially with their mafia theme with The Godfather and all the other homages.
Yeah, they had like an Irish one. They had like a Scarface one, or like a Tony Montana one. They had a regular Vito Corleone one. And then I can't remember the other ones, but
the
it was interesting.
Voiceovers were pretty great.
And apparently it's common across every dimension that they all love the Gotrons.
Yeah,
and they have one of the rarest ones, the blue Gotron ferret.
Yeah, it seemed the main premise of this episode is like Rick seems to be bonding more with Summer now instead of Morty.
Yeah.
So
and Summer seems to be connected to his narrative or something.
Yeah.
And
so
they were all just voiceover alien bugs in their ear.
Yeah.
He's like, "Can you hear me or not?"
Yeah. I'll let Morty have this voiceover. Wait, so can you hear me?
My voiceover can hear you.
Yeah.
That would be telepathy.
But I would say that I probably liked it more than the sperm episode, but I probably like.
I wasn't a huge fan of the sperm episode. It was
that's
kind of funny.
That's probably my least favorite. I think the Voltron one was slightly better, but I think like the premise sort of wore thin because they just like let's do a Voltron episode, and they didn't really expand beyond that, I guess. But
until the post-credit scene.
Oh my god, the post-credit scene made the replay so funny watching them. They're like, yeah, they never really attack anything. They just yell at him.
Oh,
he was like, yeah. Apparently they have the cure for AIDS. He was like, but sir, can't they understand us? He was just yell it really loud. But to them, they're yelling the cure for AIDS at him, but all they hear is
yeah, it's pretty fucking great.
It was like a cup of lemon juice, or he's like giving the recipe.
Yeah, it was some weird list of stuff.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
What was the post-credit scene for the last episode? They're always hard to remember.
Some donuts or something.
They have had some funny post-credit scenes lately.
Because it was
what was the one on the? Well, that was the Gotron one.
What was the one with Bird Person?
Did they have a?
Oh, for sure. By that.
Did they have a post-credit scene?
Trying to think of this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the funniest one was like the dad and the son like had to go into work the next day.
Look that up real quick. I got YouTube TV.
Yeah. But yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Oh yeah, and they go back. Find out Rick has a band. You see that again?
Oh, they just got really drunk and they went on stage. They even have a
we're
band.
so drunk that we started a band.
So I wonder if it was just like a one-day band, or if they had a thing for a while.
I thought they just like got drunk and wandered on stage. And they
that's what it sounded like. They could have lasted longer if they didn't get hit by if they didn't blow up.
Yeah.
So like that
I'm kind of.
Yeah, the short episode, not too much.
I'm trying to find out.
Y'all need to watch Mob.
Oh, the post-credit scene was the bird person's daughter.
Oh yeah.
Who's in jail.
Yeah, so they're probably gonna have to arrest.
So that's what's gonna be in the finale, is them going after the daughter, I bet.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe next season. That seems too connected. I don't think I've seen Rick and Morty do a back-to-back episode before.
Yeah. Hey, until now. Hey, Simpsons waited until season 6 to do it.
But it's gonna be an hour long. I wonder what they're gonna be doing for an hour.
Interdimensional cable.
Because that was what third person went.
An hour of
flew off
cable.
to.
That would be hilarious.
Oh my god! I don't know if I could do it for an hour unless there's some pretty good ones.
It's hard enough with 20 minutes,
God, can you imagine the behind the scenes on that? Like just Justin Roiland going for like 4 hours in the booth.
Some of them would get, because they're gonna run out of ideas, because some of them are.
Oh, I gotta answer my eyes. I'm answering my eyes, Luke.
Or like at least run out of good ideas. They're just gonna be some random ass ones.
So yeah, that's really all I have. Y'all need to watch Mob Psycho 100. I'm watching season 2 right now, and I think I like it better than One Punch Man because it's by the same guy who wrote that. So just check it out.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a new season of Iron Fist.
Oh God, no!
By Kevin Feige.
just Kevin Feige getting fisted. Just call Iron Fist.
Do not Google that. I'm sure that parody already exists.
What if
Iron Fisted?
Iron Fist was good.
I would watch that episode.
That'd be great.
What if the Punisher didn't kill?
He just goes around spanking people and saying them in timeout for punishment.
Oh yeah, like the nut is.
Like he's still the Punisher, but he's not killing anyone.
He's just a judge. He's just like sentences people to like juvenile hall, stuff like that. So he does punish them, but like he gets a law degree. What if Frank Castle's family
to community service
punished?
What about you, Rob? What's the one if putting you on the spot here? What is the one what if episode you'd like to see?
Oh man, well, from the little things I've seen, I want to. Well, especially if Tony Stark is.
Just make one. Oh, yeah, what if Tony didn't die, or what do you want to see?
What if Tony Stark actually was an alcoholic?
What if the Hulk was the Sorcerer Supreme?
That's basically what all these episodes are. It's like, what if this character was this character?
Right. That's what I want to see.
That's basically what all these episodes are.
Or, excuse me.
What if
Professor Hulk?
What if the whole Snap situation never occurred, or just never showed up, where they run out of things to do?
Right.
Like, or if they end up just having to. Yeah, they just end up. Because they don't want to send a huge team like that for lots of little simple things.
Yeah.
What if the Hulk had an erection?
What if Batman?
I mean, it does seem they throw all kinds of stuff that's relative on Earth.
Marvel Universe.
What if Thanos was a
DC
notary?
combined?
What if Thanos was right?
Yeah. What if?
What if Sylvie didn't kill He Who Remains?
What if the Collector collected comics instead of people?
Oh man, and they're bringing the multi-dimension thing with Kang.
Yeah,
I think they're doing one with Doctor Strange. Like, what if Doctor Strange was?
I can't wait to see the continuation of all that.
What if Doctor Strange injured his feet instead of his hands?
Well, I think there's a lead scene from Endgame where Iron Man had Doctor Strange's cape on, or Doctor Strange had Tony's Iron Man suit on. One of the two. I don't remember which, but that'd be cool. It got cut. I don't know why. That'd be really cool.
What if Doctor Strange never found that one solution?
Right. Like what if Doctor Strange gave up after 14 million tries?
What if Black Widow was good?
But all right, let's end on that high note. Or otherwise, we're going to do another 24 minutes of what ifs.
There's so many what ifs.
I know. I think hopefully next episode will stir more discussion than this.
What if we had something to talk about next week?
I know this joke can go on forever. So
what if it did?
All right. I'm Forrest. Maybe. Who knows? What if I was someone else?
What if I'm Major?
Man, what if I'm Robbie?
Fuck you, Robbie. Don't steal my bit.
I thought we were continuing that.
No question about it.
What if that last guy's Tip?
What if I just finished the recording
What
right
if
now?
that's Tip?
What if you guys just tweeted at us? What if you guys took a second after listening to this podcast?
What if our name was
Zeitgeist Zealots or Z-Zealot Podcast on Twitter?
Yeah, I think Z-Zealot works better because
Z-
that's been the biggest thing,
How do you spell
or like one of the
Zeitgeist?
first things people say is like, what was that name?
Yeah.
I know it's sort of like.
And then
ZZ
I
Top.
have to try to think about like how to spell that off the top of my head. I'm like,
Yeah, sort of like ZZ Top will just be ZZ Zealots. You know.
Yeah, ZZ Zealots.
So-
ZZ Lots.
I'll just like, yeah, my friend came up with it.
ZZ Lots. I like
Yeah,
that
I came up with both those words. They were completely, didn't exist in the English language before.
Yeah.
I came
Well,
up
it's
with
one of those
podcast.
words not many people have heard of.
It's. Would you say that word's not in there? Zeitgeist, Robbie.
Zeitgeist.
It only has 2 syllables. It's probably in the SATs,
Zeitgeist.
so they should know. All right. Well, I think we've had a lot of laughs, despite the very little content we watched this week.
I
But-
can't believe we squeezed out what we did. I'm proud of us, boys. All right.
On that note, I'm gonna go take a
over
dump.
30 minutes.
Yeah, you better stop now.
All right. Bye everyone. We had
Bye,
we had
guys.
fun.
What if?